video, I am going to be breaking down Khaman Maluach and how he is able to shoot the ball. I hope I have said his name correctly. However, that is what we are breaking down in today's video. He is actually a very solid shooter in a way. There's a lot of things that he does need to improve, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that he does well that you could do well as well. And also, the mistakes that he makes, you can make some corrections if you make the same mistake too. So let's get down. Let's check out his shooting form and how he shoots the ball. I think he's going to be a fantastic shooter when he makes the NBA. Potentially with the Toronto Raptors. So in this first one, he takes a dribble up, and right now there are a lot of things that he is doing really well. So at this time, he's got his knees that are, at least on this angle, look like they are pointing the exact same direction. Same as his feet, and same almost as his shoulders. This is a very large tilt towards the left side, more suitable for actually left-handed players because usually left-handed players have a massive tilt to the right. So this is quite an interesting shooting form. While he's going up into his shot, we can see that, especially from this angle, his elbow is quite a bit away from the rim, even though he has this massive tilt away from the rim. Usually when you've got a massive tilt, this gets your shoulder and elbow in line a lot better, and this is still not working. He needs to have more of a tilt, or he needs to change something. He either needs to be able to tuck his elbow in just a bit better to have a higher percentage, theoretically, or tilt even more so that he can get this in line with the rim. While he's going up for the shot, though, you can see that he doesn't have any thumb flick right there, which is fantastic. His palm is not facing the rim. And he has a nice straight release as well, which is going to help benefit his ability to shoot. Now, his knees are slightly bent after the shot. In my opinion, that doesn't really affect you all that much. And in this clip, he did make the shot. Now, going into the shot, of course, it's going to be a bit awkward. Like, normally, a player of his size, if they were going to do a one dribble attack to the right, they would be much further away than where he started. If we rewind just a little bit, they're generally not going to be starting here. For a one dribble pull up, it might be a little bit more towards the right side. However, what I'm talking about is the fact that his left foot, first off, it's a travel, but his left foot, right there, that little hop, kind of looks awkward. Could be the reason why he didn't shoot a massively high percentage in these drills. Normally, you would want to take a much larger step. So we would normally want an outstretched leg to be probably in this area, somewhere around there. But that would be way too close for a mid-range shot, probably especially for this drill. They probably want them to pull up from about 15 feet, which is where he was about, roughly. So that could be why. However, it is a somewhat awkward shot, especially this one. Arm is really far out towards that right side. His left foot seems to be more on his toes than his right. And for this shot, it did make the shot, or he did make the shot, but it did hit right rim. That could be because his right elbow was out a little bit more than the last shot. Now, in this shot, he did have the same gather when it comes to his feet. And when he goes up, what we do, or at least what I notice, is that he's got a little bit more of a thumb flick. If I slow this down just a little bit more, I don't know if I can slow it down just a little bit, but right here, that palm is facing more of the rim than normal. And the inconsistency with that offhand is potentially what made this shot brick. So these are some of the things that you would normally look for in your shooting form if you were recording yourself to try and fix whatever is going wrong with your shot. If you have any inconsistency where, for example, your offhand is something that changes, or the size of your step when you're going into your shot changes, then this is something that you need to look at. When we're looking at his shot, though, from this angle, it is a fairly solid shot as long as he doesn't have that thumb flick. From this angle, we can see that he brings the ball up the middle of his body, which is potentially why the elbow does flare out. Now, his release is in the middle of his forehead. He does go up the middle of his body. He has a plus wingspan, which means that And the reason why he would want to go up the middle of his body with his jump shot is the fact that he is 7 feet tall. He's actually almost 7'1". According to Google, he is 7 foot and 3/4 of an inch. So let's call it 7'1". That's his height. His wingspan, however, is 7'6.75". So let's just call it 7'7". He's got a 7'7" wingspan on a 7'1". This is a plus 6-inch wingspan over height. What this means is that his arms are longer than the average person. The average person has the same length arms as their height. His arms are longer than his height, which means that generally speaking, if you want to be able to not have the ball stolen from going up in front of your body, because those long arms, they're going to be getting that ball swatted away while he's going up for his shot, you need to go up the middle. It's also much more comfortable for players who have a longer wingspan to have their lift from their gather to their set point, which is right about there, to go up the middle. Now, the problem with going up the middle is if you bring this too far over your head, that's when your shoulder and elbow flare out. Now, Jokic has been successful shooting like this, so obviously if Maluach was to talk to Jokic, he may be able to help out with that shooting form, but that is the problem that a lot of taller centers will have. It's also a slower shooting form. Something else that I do notice as well, this is pretty well a set shot. This is a very slow lift from gather, and we can see that he doesn't get much of his lower back into the shot. And what I mean by that is he tends to extend his back first before his legs. Generally, you want your knees and back to roughly generally extend at the exact same time, but he extends his back early. This now, balance-wise, is setting him back onto his heels. And then going up into his shot, this is going to be throwing off a little bit of his weight transfer and could be the reason why he sometimes misses his shots, or at least in this situation, he was missing quite a few of his shots. However, overall, still a great shooting form. I don't want to ding it because I do like the fact that he's got a straight release. He has no thumb flick, or at least 99% of the time, no thumb flick. And at least everything is in line. Shoulders, hips, feet, they're all in line. And that is one of the most important things that you can do as a shooter. Anyways, my camera has died, so make sure to go check out the other video that YouTube is recommending, as well as subscribe to my YouTube channel. And, of course, make sure to go check out the center blueprint that is down in the description below if you want to become a better center, also a much smarter center. And if you want to be able to shoot the ball better, make sure to go check out the shooting workout that is down in the description below.